So a year and a half or 2 years ago or whatever, I recorded the very first video of this model ever on the original prototype. And with the upgrades and updates they've applied, you can barely tell it's even the same RV. You are going to want to see this. Hey everybody, Josh with Bish here at my cold water store. Let's get right into this thing because despite its small size, there's a lot of just crazy cool stuff to cover. I am so glad we're looking at this in the new updated Platinum Edition. That's where the fiberglass skin, the full nose cap, and that giant windshield on a little trailer are coming from. And between the windshield, the huge windows opposing the twin-to-king vertible bed system and the ridiculously sized picture window in the living room, plus all the windows in the hidden bunk, walk-in closet, desk space built into the slide out. I think this thing has maybe more square foot of window coverage per foot of RV than almost anything else I've seen. If what you're looking for is to tow small but to be able to see it all when you get there, this is the RV that can get that done. And this is a weird floor plan. It is not for everybody, but I see the same crap all day. And when I get to see something new, it excites me. So when I saw the first prototype of this, they had some kind of barrel chair arrangement that was a little bit clumsy and clunky. It's obviously been replaced with it's a jackknife sofa, but it does have a couple kick-out incliners. They've updated their little portable speaker system. It's got like a little belt clip JBL speaker, so it's right with you, or wherever you want to leave it, which is nice. The window has amazing, the kitchen has the window has amazing kitchen coverage. I am such an idiot. Whatever. You get the idea. Anyway, it does have central air, so the private bedroom, the private bathroom all stay comfortable. And this is a rare find. Twin beds in the front that can kind of convert into some sort of weird mutant RV camper king. And that's before we even get into what is in the hidden room within the slide out on this one. It could be bunks. It could be a dog kennel. It could be an office space. It could be a walk-in closet. It could be anything you want. It could be a small family RV. It could be a couple's RV. It could be an amazing single parent RV or something like that. Or a buddy hunting camper. Or, I don't know. What do you think? How would you use this? How would you go about this thing? All right, so let's get right into this little weirdo. That's what the doctor said the last time they performed surgery on me. Anyway, let's get right into this little weirdo. First thing I want to do, I want to sit right over here in the sofa. We're facing over toward the Wombo Combo bunk slide thing. Now, it doesn't include a TV from the factory, because a lot of people with little campers like this don't care about a TV. But man, if you add one, like I'm nearsighted to beat the band. I don't even know if I'd need to slap in my contacts to be able to watch TV in here. You are sitting right on top of this thing. Now, the thing is, some people have said with this whole view concept where you have a hidden room inside the slide, they say, you take an RV with a slide out, and then you defeat the purpose of the slide by making the slide not give the RV extra space. And I understand that. I'm not actually going to argue with that. I think that's a valid point. That's one of the first things that actually crept through my mind when I saw them. But the idea here is to do something different that hasn't been done before. And, when you do something new and different, you create new and different problems along the way. So it's just a matter of which one do you like better and which one can you tolerate better. I am a sucker for giant kitchen windows like this. Anytime I get a big window overlooking like a kitchen sink like that, it gets me. It gets me every time. And it makes me look at some of the other things that maybe this RV doesn't do well, and I'm like, yeah, I could live with it, Like that's a electric air fryer convection oven with microwave function. That's a 12-volt compressor fridge. Full window in the entry door, although no privacy shade, nor is it really shade prepped. So you may want to get some kind of heavy cloth that you can drape over that. The new speaker on this, like FSX was one of the first brands that instead of building a stereo into the RV, they just started doing little portable speakers. And this year's generation, kind of slick. It just kind of, like USB charges, but you can just sort of belt clip it to yourself if you want. You could, I don't know, hook it up to just about anything or just leave it lay around. And it looks like it even has an FM receiver. So that looks, I think, to be both a Bluetooth speaker and a local radio, which is very uncommon, as is this. Look at this window. Oh my good gracious. It's just ridiculous. They said, okay, how much wall space do we have? Great. Let's get a window that fits exactly that. Now, the first version of this I ever recorded had a couple of these barrel chairs down here. Well, had a couple barrel chairs, not these, because this is obviously not a barrel chair. I think I prefer the sofa more myself, just because it feels less blocky and cumbersome and out of the way. And as we're going to see in just a minute here, actually has a little bit of a, like a kick out, not totally recliner, but kind of incliner function. Now, real quick, I want to kind of complete the 360 here in the living room. So if you walk in the door, this is what you're going to see right here. This is our direct view. And again, if you're sitting at the sofa, holy crap, dude, you've got just the most ridiculous entertainment view you've ever seen on this thing. Actually, as long as I'm staring over here, let's start cracking open the storage and getting into the extra deep details. First of all, that is basically maximum storage down below. Now, you see how there's that little cloth tote I left in the bottom right corner? It includes 4 of those in there. I pulled 3 of them out just to kind of give you an idea of, you know, their sizing and everything. But you can fold those down. You don't have to use those. You could if you want to. I'm kind of a fan of those totes because I think they're a very lightweight and inexpensive alternative to drawers in areas where drawers are kind of difficult to be able to pull off, you know. Now, you see the little swivel side stand I've added to that sofa. It includes 2 of those, one for each side. And you do have a place where if you want to kick your feet up, you can take a load off at the end of the day. And although the RV has, you know, plenty of bonus sleeping built right into the slide, theoretically, you could fold down that sofa and have yet another space. You could have sleeping for up to 5 people in this, provided 3 out of 5 of them were of the shorter variety. We'll say that they're a little bit more gravity friendly. Now, they do still include a full-size 10-plus cubic foot 12-volt fridge on the back here. And it's right next to the door, so, you know, if you're outside or if you're traveling, it's just a quick, easy grab. And 12-volt fridges are, like, ideal for traveling use, by the way. Again, that's electric air fryer oven. No propane oven, but you do have a propane cooktop with a propane quick connect on the outside of the RV. Big chunk of space there below the sink. No dedicated spot for a wastebasket, though. So that's something that you're going to want to plan and or solve for. And in case you didn't get a good look at it earlier, one of the that is a larger radius sink. Normally, I do prefer something square or rectangular, but that one's large enough that if you set a dinner plate down in it, you could still actually get your fingers around it. You ever lose a dinner plate because you didn't get your fingers around it in a sink? That's fun. And you do have a little bonus mini kiss of storage enclosed down below. I'm a little surprised they left the top of this kind of open air and open face. But the thing is, that's frankly more of a door than a pantry. I actually like the fact that you probably can't load it up too high. Also, the RV's not level. The door wanted to close itself. So I wedged my shoes under there real awful hard. So in case you're wondering why my socks get ugly and filthy and dirty in my Murphy bed footage, it's because I put them on the line for you folks. Anyway, by the way, you see that little tie back on the bottom right corner of the screen? That is so that if you're traveling, you don't want this pantry door thing to fly open. You don't have to. Now, let's start taking stock of everything you got in here. One of the things that I describe this as is it could be a walk-in closet, because if you notice, they gave you a hanging rack all the way down this. So you literally could use this as just absolutely absurd closet space. Thankfully, both of the windows open. Over here on the left-hand side, this will probably be most useful when it's in bunk sleeper mode, but keep an eye on these. You do have some power outlets. Now, the bottom is USBs only, but I don't know. I think down that low, someone might, if someone's laying there, it's because the only thing they really need to power up is a phone. In my mind, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Working our way around the corner over here, I've kind of got it in sort of stuff out the way mode. One thing I do want to point out is you're like, well, how do I get air into here? Well, it actually has a forced air fan system. I'm going to kick it on. Some of these are awful loud. I'm going to shut up for a second. Let's take a listen. I mean, it's not quiet, but it's not loud. Wow, it actually is doing it really is pulling a lot of air. I was surprised how quickly that moves, and I'm thankful for it, because the thing is, the slide box cannot be insulated as heavily as the main body of an RV. It is noticeably hotter in here than in the main cabin of the RV. How many degrees? I don't know, 10 degrees warmer? Like, I'm sweating in my britches real fast all of a sudden here. Now, all those bunk mattresses are kind of segmented, and they can, you can, right now we're in move bunk, get out the way. Or rather, we would be in move bunk, get out the way mode if I hadn't hit the kill button before I finished saying it. You get the idea. The bunks can go away. Now, if you want to take all the mattresses and everything out, what you can do is you can use the fixed shelf over here on the right like a dedicated desk space, and you could basically bring a little chair with you. Now, if the heat in the slide box is a bit of an issue for you, one of the things that you could do is leave this door open and get some kind of holdback or door stopper other than my shoes, like I've done here, to help get some extra airflow in there. Obviously, that leaves it in the way, of the kitchen space. I'm not trying to say that that's a permanent, awesome, full-time solution. Just trying to present ideas for you here. It's a different kind of RV. I think two different people could buy this and have two drastically different uses for it. So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of camper. Thankfully, you do have central air to keep everything cool back here in the bedroom and the bathroom. The RV's 6.5 foot tall, so if you notice when I stand in the shower, my head goes in the skylight. The skylight is turned funny. You're like, why didn't they turn the skylight over the shower? Because of the roof rafters. If they turned it the other way, if they turned it hot dog instead of hamburger way, basically, they would have to, they'd have to really cut into some roof structure, and that sucks. I love the lightsaber Tron lighting there over the shower. So if you're taking a shower at night when you don't have the natural light from the skylight, it really helps. You can see how it's rectangular. We do have a shower surround. Pardon my dirty footprints here. We have one of those. Hold on, I was backing up. Now I decided to move forward. One of those handy retractable kind of self-squeegeeing kind of doors. Working our way down here. You can see on the left side of the screen, there is pretty decent space around the toilet. Like, your elbow room is not a problem. It's not like I was able to extend my legs a ton, but it's not like it was problematic for me either. So I'm going to give it a pass on that. Now, you might notice that there's a curtain back here. If I get you up top toward the ceiling, one of the things they did so that if you want to be able to use the toilet and at least have a visual separator so that, like, if someone's trying to get from the living room kitchen up to the bedroom or vice versa, they can still slide past. Now, there's no audio dampening, and I'm sure that's not going to have any sort of smellerator kind of benefits, but at least it's a visual breakpoint. I guess you could always take the curtain down if you don't care for it either, but they're doing what they can. Now, I do appreciate the dual sliding privacy doors, because if these were swinging doors to the bedroom and bathroom, this floor plan would be an absolute nightmare to navigate. Now, as we move up here into the bedroom, this whole front windshield, that is thanks to the Platinum package, that sweet looking nose cap and the fiberglass skin. That's where the windshield comes from. Normally, this would just be a wood panel wall, kind of like we're looking at right here, but it gets churched up real fast. And look at the total window coverage in this bedroom. Even with the twin to king vertible mattresses stacked up and in the way, you can still see how you've got these gigantic windows. Just like the living room, they put the literal biggest windows they possibly could on either side of this, and they basically gave it like a symmetrical bedroom, which is kind of cool. Now, here's the thing. These are short queen twins. They're only like 74 inches long, and there is no ability to make them any longer. I'm going to have to get you right up in the face around the corner. The reason that they did this, the reason they went to this twin bed arrangement right here, was because the RV is at basically its maximum length they could possibly put on a single axle. And at the time they first developed this floor plan, the FSX division of Salem and Wildwood, they were not allowed to make anything other than single axles unless it was a toy hauler, which obviously this is not. You can see if you want to, you could put a TV here, although it would interfere a little bit with the cabinet door. These are all the little slip sheets that go with the RV, I guess kind of demonstrating how much space that we have there, but most people don't end up using those anyway, so it didn't go through a huge effort to kind of pull those suckers out of there. Now, you've got the same overhead cabinet space on the camp side of the RV. I do like those power outlets right in between the two beds. I think that's really, really smart. You also have kind of a double up mine and yours dresser going on below. And I want to make sure I point that out now, because as soon as we convert this over into king-ish mode, we're going to lose it. The thing is, you see what looks to be the middle, that plank between the two beds, well, basically, that just slides forward. And it actually reveals the actual middle stand between the two. So what I love about this design is you don't have to like try to find a place to fit, smash and wiggle that little conversion plank right there. You just slide it forward whenever you happen to need it, and the wood tone matches everything else. And then obviously you finish putting the mattress in place. Now, I don't like to do this, but just so you can actually see the room in its entirety, I'm going to give you a quick fisheye wide angle view of this sucker. And I don't like doing this because like it feels very deceptive. Like if I did the whole video like this, you're like, look at all of the space. It's massive in here. And it's not what it really looks like when you see it in person, but at least this does help give you kind of an understanding of how the entire space interacts with one another, albeit in a very skewed perspective kind of thing. Now, as long as we're rolling that beautiful bean footage here, I'm going to go ahead and just back up, and I'm going to close that slide up and flip us into road mode. But first of all, just to help you get your bearings, I wanted to get us back in the realm of standard lens view. This is what it looks a little bit more like to the naked eye. And this is the same position with the slide closed. The thing is that slide is way deeper than you realize. And because the countertop kind of sticks out, I don't think you can really reasonably ask somebody to scoot up to the bedroom and bathroom. But I'm not exactly a reasonable person, and I'm going to see if I can fit my fat gut through there. All right. Hail Mary, full of grace. Please don't let this blow up in my face. All right, this is the point where, ooh. Okay. Oh, well, that went better than I thought it was going to. Now I got to get back out of here. All right, so if this footage makes it, then you know that I got out. Either that or I grabbed my phone and I called for help. So I will say, thankfully, getting up on my tiptoes a little bit, I was able to squeeze my little bitty flat cheeks through this thing. And hey, there we go. We're back through this thing. Now, what do we have for travel and access? Right from the door, we have our refrigerator. We can get to the stove. Actually, you could open the microwave, but keep in mind, that is 110 electric only, since it's not a gas oven. You have a gas stove top, but not a gas oven. You have an electric oven. Anything that you could bake in a propane oven, you could still bake in that. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but not at a travel stop unless you custom add a pretty hefty inverter. You will really have to reach around the corner to get to that sink. And I can see that being a problem for some folks. But if you appreciate that I still take the time to kind of demo all this, hit that subscribe button. In case you're curious, it is also the Norco Exact Slide system. Actually, now that I mention that, the reason I think that's very important is with this slide closed, it's one of the only slide systems that you actually could still occupy with a human being while it's retracted. Most towable RV slide systems just don't want you to do that. You know, there's always that one thing. That platinum package that we're looking at on here, especially with the new nose cap and windshield, it looks amazing. But I just discovered something that is potentially a very major problem with it. And this is something that's actually kind of plagued the single axle platinum models for a while. But, anyway, if you take a look at the weights and the measures along the bottom of the screen, those are the generic base model weights and measures. What we're looking at today is not the base model. It is the one with all of the Kardashian level skin package glitz glitter upgrades, right? The trick is, when you add fiberglass skin to a stick-built structure, you actually add weight. Now, you add that candy-coated nose cap on the front. Those things are heavy. And you slap a windshield in it. That adds a chunk of weight. And Platinum Edition also adds a solar package, which, although really not super heavyweight, it all adds up. Here's what I'm getting at. You just saw the base weights and measures on the screen. This RV, as you see it today, is 5,249 pounds. 5,250 basically. Which means we've got barely 420 pounds of available cargo capacity. That's problematic. That's problematic for even just absolute bare minimum cargo. If you're somebody who wants to put any level of water in the tanks or anything like that, you could overload this sucker pretty quickly. So again, I hope you appreciate that I will go out of my way to point stuff like that out. I don't want you to buy this and then after the fact, after you spent lots of money, go, oh no, we can't actually camp with it the way that we wanted to. Actually, let me segue that into the fact that Bish's RV is one of the only organizations I've heard of that actually has a 72-hour RV return policy. You're not happy with it for any reason, bring it back. We'll swap you into something else. We'll refund your money. We'll do what we need to do to make it right for you. That's kind of our commitment here. So my goal is to prevent you from needing to do that with these videos. I want to help you find your second RV the first time, and sometimes that requires these tough conversations. But, you know, if you're not really towing it long distance, or if you park camp and you don't need water in the tanks and you want the good-looking package here, God bless America. Look at how good that looks. It's subjective. But my Lord, that looks amazing. The gigantic windshield in that nose cap, all of the massive window coverage that this thing has. Ooh, it just looks awesome. Now, it's got 200 watts of solar on the roof. That's either a standalone option or it's automatically part of the Platinum package. But you see that green sticker on the right? That is all set up, rated for up to 20 amps of portable solar. Now, you don't have a front pass-through. You have side saddle storage pockets under each of the twin beds. Oh, hold on. Let me take a bit of a knee and look you up here. You see how you've got that gas strut? Those twin beds actually do have easy lift storage from the inside. I don't think I demonstrated that. I forgot about that. We got a gas grill. Quick connect on the outside. Underbelly over here. It is enclosed, actually, which is something very rare on single-axle stick-built campers. I do also appreciate the fact it has front and rear stabilizers. Let us, your more price-sensitive cutthroat brands, they won't put front stabilizers on something just to make it a little less expensive, you know. Now, I will say, again, trying to be fair, something you can't even see on camera. So going out of my way to point this out, the lighting under the awning is nothing to write home about. Yes, it has awning lights, but it's like the Morse code ... lights, and they are sparse. They are spread out under that awning. There's not a ton of lighting coming under that awning. On the back here, we have our tankless on-demand water heater, and we are prepped and ready for both a backup camera and ladder, which you see kind of up there on the top of the rear wall. The roof is walkable. Again, it just doesn't have a factory ladder. I do appreciate, though, it does have a full factory bumper and spare tire. And that's boring stuff to talk about, but I think it's important. Oh, by the way, have you noticed that your water heater exhaust and your furnace exhaust, both of those hot-to-touch surfaces, they're actually, they're off the butt of the camper, basically. They're not sticking off the campsite of the RV. So the kids are far less likely to put their hands on them if you are using this as a bunk model. Now, the question people keep asking, and I keep asking the manufacturers, is, okay, how much weight is that slide out rated for if I'm going to use it for cargo space or whatever the case may be? And the answer is still, I don't know, because I can't seem to get a straight answer from the... What? What? Hold up. Hold up. Okay. I don't know if you can see this on camera. I just noticed this little trailer is a two-headed sewer monster. So we have your kitchen gray tank outlet back here. And then we have our bathroom black and gray outlet under the skirt line in front of the slide out, hanging down below. Evidently, they just were not able to kind of cross-plumb that all together. Again, that's a problem for some folks. I hope you appreciate that. I'll go out of my way to point that out. Because this RV, the thing is, it's very fun. It's very cool. But when you come up with something new and weird like this, you also inadvertently end up creating problems that didn't exist because the layout didn't exist. That's kind of the catch-22 of doing something new and different in the RV industry. And again, it's been a while since I saw this one. Now, they have a sister to this model called the 162. And I was convinced I liked the 162 better until I saw this update here. And now I'm on the fence again. Now I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to leave you some links in the description, first of all, to double check pricing and availability on this, whether we have it in stock under the Salem or the Wildwood name. One link to rule them all, Lord of the Rings style. Hail Lord Sauron. But there's some nerd right now going, no, don't do that. I will also leave you links to the other
single axle hidden bunk mutant thing that they build. Let me know which one you think is a little bit better. Now, this footage is a little more updated than the other one that I have, but hopefully I get a chance to update that too. Because if this is how they're looking, holy cow, dude. Holy cow. Now, what do you think? This is, at the end of the day, it's a basic stick and tin builder with that the Platinum package really dresses this up. It tricks you into thinking it's something that it's not, for sure. But what do you think of some kind of upscale, small laminated builder, like a J-Feather Micro or something took a stab at this? What would you think? Would you be interested in seeing that? Let me know. Let me know. I don't know. Till next time, though, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.